We're here trying to urge Congressman Amash to extend unemployment. The deal that Congress came up with is going to expire the end of February, and we're going to have 80,000 people in Michigan lose their unemployment unless there's an extension. So we want him to vote on a clean one-year extension bill with no gimmicks, no strings attached.
How many extensions have they had so far?
Well, you know, they're into numerous extensions. How many job losses have we had so far? You know, and that's what we got to look at, is what's going on in the real economy. Michigan's at a real, very fragile upswing right now. That unemployment money, which will be spent 100% in the local economies, is going to make a huge difference on whether we continue going up or whether we put a brakes to this upturn that we finally got going here in Michigan. Jobs are starting to be created, things are starting to get moving, but let's not pull the rug out of almost 100,000 families in Michigan by denying them unemployment when they lost their job through no fault of their own.
How long should they be extended?
Well, let's go there. Well, unfortunately, Michigan's going to be behind the rest of the country anyway, because in Michigan, people are no longer eligible for 99 weeks of unemployment. They'll only be able to get 93 because of the move the legislature did last year, which is bad enough. Let's go until the economy recovers, until we're at full unemployment and people have the jobs that they want. A decent job that pays a decent living wage.
Thank you.
What's your take on this whole thing, this sort of the drug testing kind of push that is a part of this whole thing?
I can't understand that at all. Drug testing being high had nothing to do with why these folks lost their job or why they're unemployed. If a company wants to drug test an individual, go right ahead and do that. You know, they impose these costs on the state already. We've had cutbacks and cutbacks. You can't even talk to anybody at the unemployment office. Who are you going to talk to for a drug test? That's an ungodly cost, the burden they're putting on the system for no reason. It doesn't make any sense at all. That's just another give back to the corporations and creating a whole unregulated industry. I'm sorry, Jeff, I'd go on and on and on.
No, that's fine.
That provision really just makes me so mad. How they would want to add that burden to the taxpayer, add that burden on top of everything else. You talk about unnecessary regulation. Drug testing, getting high had nothing to do with them people losing their jobs. They got to be able and available. If the company wants to test them, go for it. But the unemployment shouldn't be a criterion. For these guys to hold it up on an issue like that is criminal in my mind.
Yeah. Well, one other question too, I guess I have is in terms of like, you know, so people are wringing their hands over whether or not to extend unemployment benefits, but at the same time, it seems like there's no real discussion about whether or not there's going to be any halting of continued sort of corporate welfare, right? We just keep giving all these, perks and benefits to corporations. We can't take care of working people.
Exactly. And these are people who, like I said, they've lost their job through no fault of their own. They're looking for work. They're able and available for work. They're out looking for work. That's the criteria to get unemployment. You know, these aren't people that want to be unemployed. America wants to work. We just want a hand up so we can get ahead. Cutting off unemployment is going to increase foreclosures. It's going to increase the cost on the taxpayer. It's the best dollar a taxpayer could spend. All the money is going to be spent locally. The arguments for go on and on and on. The arguments against are just one, philosophic. It's no care for the worker, like you said, Jeff.
Oh, great.